On Saturday, Guilford came into Turner Gymnasium to take on the Lynchburg College Hornets. Hornets get a big W. After the game, I talked to Hilliary Scott about the balanced team effort that Lynchburg had and other thoughts right here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
Talk about what you saw that went good.
Well, I told my team in the locker room that I felt like this is probably the most complete game we played all year on both ends. I thought we guarded really well. Even though they shot the ball great the first half, I thought we still had the energy, intensity. We were talking, we were in the guys. Second half it paid off for us. And we made some shots. I mean, that's what it boils down to. When you're playing a team like this, you're going to have to make some shots. And we did it. And the other thing is, we would have to fight on the glass. They only out-rebounded us by 3. Years past, they really absolutely crushed us on the glass. So that was been a big thing we talked about leading in today.
It seemed like there were 2 spurts, like at the very end of the second half, and then at the end of the first half, and then at the start of the second half, where you really put a lot of pressure on them. And you threw that defense out that they had seen before, I guess, in the game.
Well, that's what we do. So we got to try to play our style of play. They're a good team. So it's not going to be 40 minutes of, just turnovers every possession. So, we knew our half-court defense was going to have to be good for us to be successful. I thought it was. And then we were able to get some stops, and I think that's when we're at our best, to be honest with you, when we're running in transition and scoring in transition, and we were able to get some of that the second half.
Each time I've seen you guys, it seems like there's a different catalyst, and today it seemed like Xavier was that guy. Talk about what he did.
Yeah, I think you summed us up. I think that's, been the difference, from this year to any other team we've had, is we got some depth. We got some guys that, maybe one game they're not playing well, they can still help us in other ways. But we've had different guys step up, when we needed to. And Xavier, I thought, controlled both ends of the court. He really got us in our stuff. We've talked about him really controlling the tempo and controlling the game. He had 6 assists and 3 turnovers, along with 4 steals. When he gets a bunch of assists, that means we're moving the ball and things are going well for us.
It seemed like you really passed the ball really well. It seemed like you had a lot of assists.
Yeah, I tell you, if you probably look at our wins this year, we've gotten 20-plus assists in all of our wins. And most of our losses, we've been at probably 12, 13, 15 assists. We have got to be a 20-plus assist kind of team. We've got to share the ball. We've got to reverse it and move it and really keep everybody involved. And I think we had 20 again tonight. We had 27 the other night against Bridgewater. That's what we got to do.
To go back to this 2 spurts, is that a 1-3-1 zone that you would call it? Or
yeah, that's what we run. Yeah, it was something we throw at teams occasionally. But you get scared to play some of those zone defenses because they got some guys that can really shoot the ball, and so yeah, our guys really enjoy playing that. I don't think that's something we can give anybody a steady dose of, but it's something that we enjoy playing.
They really did seem to switch the momentum because they ended it out there like a 6-point lead, and then you threw that at them. The guys switched the momentum.
And they had a couple guys, I think, in foul trouble the first half. I know 21 Pittman was in foul trouble the first half. A lot goes through him. And obviously that helps you when he's sitting on their bench. So that's one reason why we were able to go to that. But it's something we enjoy playing.
Seems like you guys can get up 17-18, but then almost before we really look, it's almost back down to 12. You sense maybe, I don't want to say trouble, but wish your guys could stay on that throttle more?
Well, I know I've talked to you about this before. It's such a fine line, between attacking and taking good shots and then slowing it down and running some clock. So we're still trying to work through some of those things. And, I think in those situations we got to make sure Big Chills touches the ball some. We got to make sure Nate gets some shots. And so at the same time, we got to attack, but be smart at it as well.
I want you to enjoy this one, but Sydney on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we say this after every game. Okay, enjoy this today, but tomorrow we're coming back, film session, and we got to move forward, win or lose. We got beat last Sunday against Virginia Wesleyan. We wasn't happy about it, but win or lose, we got to keep going. This is a tough league, and one game doesn't make your season. We got a ton more games left, and we've all seen it where teams can get on a string of wins and they can get on a string of losses too.
Do you sense Harrison George as a matchup problem for you guys?
Yeah, I think he's a matchup problem for everybody. So I haven't really looked at much tape on them yet. We'll start doing that tomorrow and see what we can do. They're really talented. They wasn't picked to the top of the league for anything. So it's going to be a dogfight. just like any other game in the league.
Guilford's head coach, Tom Palombo, a friend of the podcast, at least I'd like to consider that, has always been classy to us. No different after Saturday's loss. He talked about what he felt Guilford didn't do well, what they couldn't get going, and about the solid play of Lynchburg here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
Don't get the result you guys wanted to. What went wrong that you guys couldn't establish that you wanted to?
Well, I just didn't think we played smart. We had a way we wanted to approach the game and the way we wanted to play. We just, we turned the ball over. We didn't, we executed extremely poorly offensively. We made some shots in the first half, which kind of masked the fact that we just didn't do what we wanted to do. And then defensively, they just imposed their will on us. They have some really talented offensive players, but we just didn't defend the way we wanted to defend them. And we feel like when we're good, we're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And we certainly did not show that today. They did whatever they wanted to do offensively.
It seems like the ODAC's going to be a big league again, to where you used to have 6'9", 6'8", 6'7". That dwarfed a lot of people, but now everybody's kind of getting big. How much does that kind of maybe neutralize your post?
Yeah, and we're not quite as talented inside as we have been in the past. We have a freshman in there, Will Freeman. I think he's going to be a really good player for us, and he's 6'6", 6'7", but he's young. Once he gets lifting weights and gets in condition, he's going to be a good player in this league. But yeah, Campbell and Chalemi are veterans in this league and big, strong guys that are very, very talented, and they certainly are difficult to stop.
And you touched on it right there. They've got more than one weapon. A lot of teams have more than one weapon. How important does that make the defensive effort to where you can't take 2 or 3 plays off?
Oh yeah, we were going to try to sacrifice a few things. The problem is we sacrificed a lot of things. But yeah, you can't go and say, all right, we're going to stop one guy. That's certainly not that. And I don't think you do that with any team in our league. Our league's just way too talented. I think you try to make it tough for guys to be comfortable out there, and we just couldn't do it to them. They were just better than we were today.
Did Josh really get going like you guys thought he would or could or should?
Yeah, I thought Josh, he just, the only thing I was disappointed with Josh, his defensive effort, he wasn't in the right spots that he needed to be a few times, and then, he turned the ball over, making poor decisions, I thought. But as far as his game when he shot the ball, I thought he took good shots. He got the ball to the basket. He got other people involved. He distributed the ball. I think he just made a couple poor decisions, and then defensively he didn't perform the way he needs to.
Looking at the schedule and results for you guys, Bridgewater got you at your place. Was that kind of a wake-up call for you all?
No, we know everybody in our league is good. You hate to lose at home the way we lost. We played poor. We played a lot like we played in stretches here, the way we did in that game. Just letting them do what they wanted to do, stealing the ball from us, going down, shooting a layup. Or you can shoot a good percentage when you steal the ball and shoot down the other end. The other team's not down there to stop you, and they did it a few times to us today. And Bridgewater certainly did that to us the first time, and I'm sure they'll try to do it again. We didn't play smart. We call Guilford College basketball smart basketball, fundamental basketball. We certainly didn't play Guilford College basketball today.
Coach, best of luck the rest of the way. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Michael Glover for the Hornets scored 7 points in 10 minutes of action. Just another spoke on the wheel for the Hornets, who had 4 players in double figures. I caught up with Michael after the game to get his thoughts on the Hornets' victory over Guilford, which pushes Lynchburg to 4-2 in the ODAC.
Michael, good win over Guilford today. What did you see that went good from your point of view for the Hornets?
We played as a team. Our defense was great. We rotated well. We knew who were the shooters, and we really stepped out on them. We knew who wanted to drive, and we took away the drive the best we could. On offense, we really shared the ball, and we knocked down shots.
Yeah, I want to capitalize off that. It seems to me that you guys have so many weapons, a team can't focus on one guy. Talk about how beneficial it is to where one night it might be Nate, one night it might be Austin, Xavier, yourself, Manny. Anybody can score.
All right, everybody on our team can go for 20 any given night, and one thing we really focus on is getting 20 assists a game. It's a lot better for the team if everybody's getting involved instead of just one guy shooting every time.
Yeah, it helps team morale, I would say, as well. Talk about what you feel that you guys need to work on as we get deeper into the season and head into Hampton Sydney on Wednesday.
Defense is always our main focus. We can always improve rebounding, help side defense, and just rotating quicker as a team.
How tough does it make it to focus on defense when obviously the point for you guys is you want to get in the 80s, 90s, century mark if it would be great too, but how does that make it tough to play defense?
Usually we focus on our offense comes from our defense. So the more stops we get, the more opportunities we have to run and get points before the defense can set up.
Individually, from your group, who stood out to you today?
For us?
Yes.
I really thought Nate played well, and Xavier really passed the ball great again and really played great defense.
Hampton-Sydney, a very good club. You'll see them on Wednesday. I know you haven't seen film or anything yet, but what worries you about going up on a road game to take on Hampton-Sydney?
We just got to be prepared, on the road game, bus ride, just kind of get sleepy, but we just got to be ready to play.
Michael, congratulations on the win today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Lynchburg will hit the road on Wednesday as they take on Hampton-Sydney. Guilford will make the trip up to Bridgewater to take on Don Burgess and the Eagles, looking to avenge the home loss Bridgewater gave Guilford earlier in the season. For the Sports Buffet podcast, this is Bob Alvis.